Hey everyone, welcome to Keller Acres. Today I'm going to make some banana walnut muffins. We had some overly ripe bananas left over from the week, so I figured make some banana walnut muffins. Anyway, this recipe is one that I'm modeling after some chocolate chip muffins that I made earlier this week that turned out really good. So I'm going to basically do the same recipe I did for that, only I'm going to turn them into banana muffins instead. So we're going to start with half a cup of melted butter. I've already got my butter melted, slightly cooled. Pour that in. You could also use coconut oil melted if you prefer. To that, I'm going to add a cup of coconut sugar. You can use regular sugar if you prefer. I used this particular coconut sugar in my muffins that I made and they turned out really good. So I'm going to do that again. Got this brand at Walmart. So again, we're going to put in 1 cup of coconut sugar. I wasn't sure how the taste would end up, but it surprised me. I think the chocolate chip muffins that I made are actually, I feel like they're the best muffins I've made in a long time, so possibly ever. Mix that up. Then we are gonna add a tablespoon of baking powder. That already, just keep that mixing there. Add a baking powder. And then we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of baking soda. That in there. Actually, I accidentally used a teaspoon, but it'll be fine. Then a teaspoon of salt. That mixing. Realized I forgot to grab my vanilla. All right, tried to have everything all ready to go, and of course I forget something, so. Got the vanilla now. Mix that in. A tablespoon of vanilla, if I didn't say that, I think I said that. 2 eggs, room temperature is better, that way they mix in better. So I've got my 2 fresh eggs, room temperature. Pour that in. Let that mix. Let's go a little bit faster. I'm also going to get my spoon and scrape the sides down a little bit too after I stir that. Just make sure everything's getting stirred in there really good. Always good to just make sure you're scraping down the sides. And now I need a spoon rest for my dirty spoon. Okay, next we're going to add in 1 container of Greek yogurt. So I've got some plain Greek yogurt. Gonna dump that in there. Let that mix in a little bit. Next, I'm gonna add in some almond milk. I'm gonna kind of wait and see after I add in all my bananas. I may not need very much. I'm gonna wait and kind of see what the consistency is. In the chocolate chip muffins that I made, I did 2/3 a cup of almond milk, but since this is gonna have the moisture from the banana, I don't know that I'm gonna need that much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix in 1/3 a cup. And then once we get all the flour mixed in, we'll see. See if it needs any more. We can always add more. Okay. Now we're going to start adding in some flour. I'm going to start adding in some flour before I add in my bananas. I'm going to go ahead and start with 1 cup. It's 2.5 cups total. Start with 1 cup. Let that mix. If you want to try to make the chocolate chip muffins I made, it's this exact same recipe minus the banana, obviously, and the walnuts. And then I added in 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. So I'm following that recipe that I made exactly, just making it banana walnut. All right, that's mixed in good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in some of my already mashed up ripe bananas. This is about 3 bananas. I did pull off a little part of one of them and that was a little bit too mushy. Go ahead and mix that in. So it's a little less than 3 bananas. That's looking good. Now we'll go ahead and add in another cup of flour. go. Stir that in. I've got the oven preheating to 350. With the chocolate chip muffins I made, I baked them at 350 for 24 minutes. So I would recommend, since oven times can vary, I would set my oven time at 20 minutes and then just keep checking it from there. So you make sure that you don't over bake them. Of course, you also want to just make sure the top is nice and kind of firm so that they're done. You want them to be done all the way through, just not overdone. But the 24 minutes worked perfect with the chocolate chip muffins. Okay, now we're gonna do the last half a cup. It's looking like I'm not gonna need any more almond milk, I don't think. We'll see what this last half a cup does. That stir in. Then I'm gonna scrape down my sides again before I add in, actually I'm gonna scrape those down, then mix a little more, then add in the chocolate chips. And the walnuts. I did forget to mention, I am going to throw some chocolate chips into this too because I feel like that's going to taste really good with the walnuts. All right. Let that mix up a little bit more. Got a bunch on my hand. All right. Now we're going to add in our chopped walnuts. I've got 1 cup of walnuts here. Obviously you can put in however many you want. I'm going to start with a cup and see what that looks like. And then I've also got 1 cup of chocolate chips, semi-sweet. Dump those in. Mix her up. And like I said, I only needed the 1/3 cup of almond milk, so did not add any more of that. All right. You know, I think it looks perfect. I'm gonna show you guys real quick what this looks like. Here it is. Here's the batter. It looks nice and thick enough with enough walnuts and chocolate chips, I think. So I'm not gonna add any extra to that. Now we're gonna get scooped into the already prepared muffin tin. I usually don't use muffin liners, so I've just got my muffin tin already sprayed. And with the chocolate chip muffins, I made it into just 12 big muffins. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this. I'm just gonna make 12 muffins. What they look like when they come out of the oven. All right, I'm back to show you the muffins. This recipe made 12 big muffins and I had a little extra batter, so I also made 7 little mini muffins. I prefer the bigger muffin with the walnuts in it though, because I feel like the mini muffins, you're not getting everything in every bite. Some of them didn't have walnut in it. Anyway, here's one done, one cut open. Very good, they're very good. I swear it's the coconut sugar. I haven't baked a lot with coconut sugar. I just started using it recently and it's just really good. I'm surprised. So I highly recommend trying the coconut sugar. Also, if you have read the book, It Ends With Us, just saw that movie this afternoon with my daughters and it was good. Definitely a chick flick. Leave your husbands, boyfriends behind. Definitely a movie to go see with girls because, I don't know, men wouldn't like it. And what is it about fountain pop? Fountain pop is just so good. Anyway, guys, try this recipe, really good. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks.